Welcome to Rustic Cottage Co. I'm Julie and I hope you like my Facebook page Rustic Cottage Co, my group Rustic Cottage Co and my YouTube channel Rustic Cottage Co. This video is to inspire you. Please give the thumbs up, like, tell your friends and pass the word on. That will help my business. I much appreciate the time you're taking to enjoy this video. Please keep watching and let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you again for watching Rustic Cottage Co. from Julie. Have a great day. Enjoy the movie. Hey everyone, look what I have found. I know, it doesn't look much right now, but I literally picked this up from the side of the road just round the corner from where I am at, and it's good solid wood. I'm not sure my woods, but to me it would be kind of a pine. Obviously had some glass or something in the door and that's gone, and I think there's some issues with the shelves. Maybe some of the hooks for the shelves are missing, so I'm going to take the door off, take the shelves out, and let's just have some fun with this piece. As I say, completely free. Picked it up on the side of the road, so it can only get better from now. Keep watching. So I have put the first coat of white chalk paint on the top and bottom of all the shelves. It will take probably 2 and a bit coats to make sure everything's evenly covered, and it may have some bleed through, so I might have to deal with that, but I'll show you if I do as I go along. The door, this is the back of the door. I've done the charcoal grey chalk paint, and I will put a clear coat on top of that and then some white chalk paint on top, as the door will be wet distressed back to give it some interest and age to the piece. And as you can see here with the light, I have also put the dark grey on the outside of the cabinet and also the corners, and I don't know if you can see here, but also the back of the cabinet. Wait for that to dry, put a quick clear coat on top of that, because all the areas that I did the charcoal grey, I will be doing the wet distress back. Anywhere that I didn't do the grey will be either pure white or stained. So it's starting to look good. I'm liking how it's coming out, and I think I'm going to just leave that overnight and let it get set up and do the next coats tomorrow. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Took quite a bit of cleaning. As I say, I've picked it up off the road, side of the road, not far away, so it needed some degreasing and a good cleaning, so it took me a little bit, but got it cleaned up and the first coat's on. So I have put 2 coats on each of the shelves and 2 coats on the door. I'll be wet distressing that back today, and I have got 1 coat, if you can see, it's hard with the light, on the actual cabinet itself. I'm going to check to see if there's going to be any bleed through. If there is, I'll have to work with that. But I need to put a second coat on, and I usually do 2 and a bit coats, 2 full coats, and then the bit obviously is just touch-ups where needed. Also, I have sanded the top and decided to do the top with more of a glaze. I use a glaze more than a stain because it comes out in the colours I like. But also means that after I've glazed I have to do a clear coat on top. So that's what I'm up to with this one, and let's have some fun with it. So this is the glaze I am going to be using. I've been using it lately in a lot of my pieces of furniture. I find that it's a nice aged look as it is a grey base, and I'm going to just pour. I don't have a lot here, so I'm going to have to get some more, but it'll be enough for this piece. Just going to pour some on and just use a cloth just to get it into the wood. all wood is different of how it's going to take the glaze, so you never know what you're going to get until it dries. So I always find I do one coat at a time and just let it completely dry and then decide how many more coats you want to do. This is soaking in really well, a little too well, so I know it's going to take quite a bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more here and here. And just rub it in. It's bringing out some nice patterns from the wood, nice lines. Make sure you get the sides nice. And leave it to dry. Okay, so I'm really happy with the top right now, and so I went ahead and I put on a clear coat over the top. So it's a little on the dark side right now because it's got to dry, sort of dry it a little bit lighter, but I think it looks good. So let's see how that goes, and let's get on with the wet distressing on the door and getting the second coat of white chalk paint on the main cabinet. Okay, so the top is finished. I'm liking the colour of it. That has come out nicely, especially for pine. I'm liking that. And I have 2 coats of paint on the whole thing. I will probably need to do touch-ups, you know, as you need 2 and a bit coats. So when it's all dry, I will have a look at that. And I have the shelves are done, but what I'm thinking is, instead of putting all 3 shelves back in, making them very small shelves, I'm thinking of just putting 2 shelves back in and giving more space for things on the shelves, so more depth between the shelves. Also, I have found these legs that I have left over from a different project, and I haven't fully decided, because it's always my last thing to do, but to use this part of the piece of the leg as a foot. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. But what I'm going to do next is doing some wet distress on the door, which I'll show you, as everyone always asks me, how do you wet distress back to the grey? And that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so this actual, I keep kicking, there you go, sorry. This door is just a door frame at the moment. It's got 2 coats of chalk paint on. So what I have is 1 coat of dark grey chalk paint, 1 coat of clear coat, and then 2 coats of white chalk paint on here. Next, I'm going to have a damp cloth. This is a damp cloth, and I'm just going to rub it over the whole thing. And what this does is just wets the whole door frame and handle just a little bit to soften the paint. And then I'm going to go back in places to just wet distress back. So I'm just going to pull you back here just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So in just the edges, the corners, the inside here, I'm just wiping off. So I'm literally wiping away the white paint in some nice detailed areas. And that's literally all you do for wet distressing. Different chalk paints will be different ways of doing this. Most chalk paints, like the DIY chalk paint, all you need is a baby wipe. Hold on, there's an aeroplane going by. Hold on. Aeroplane has gone by. So yeah, if you use the DIY chalk paint, which is one of my favorites but a little bit pricey, you just need a baby wipe, and it wet distresses so easily, even just with a baby wipe. But I use the Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and I find a fairly thickish, rough, damp cloth works really well. So I want to wet distress this quite a bit, as I want to distress good, rough, rustic cabinet. So there you go, that's what we've got going on, and it's literally just using a damp cloth to wipe back the white, and it doesn't wipe back the actual grey because you put the clear coat in between to protect my words, the grey, so it just goes back to that grey level. If you don't do the clear coat, then quite often you can wet distress it back too far and it shows the wood itself. And if it's a wood you like to see and you want to go back to that, that's great. But if it's a wood that's not maybe in fashion right now, not the styling right now, then you want to cover that. So it's your decision, your choice. What I'm going to do inside this actual door frame is put some chicken wire. So we're going to be doing that next. When this is just a dry again, I'm going to put some clear coat over the whole door, and then we're going to let it dry, and then I'll show you putting some chicken wire onto the door. So this piece is getting going really well. The door is on, the chicken wire is in, and the wet distress has been done. I've also got the shelves ready. They'll be going into. So my next step is to wax and top coat everything. And then also we're going to be adding some short legs, just lift it a little, I think. So I'm going to cut those up ready, have a look, see what they look like, and see whether I want them on or not. I hope so. I think it'll look good. What do you think so far? And we're almost done. Let's get this one finished and staged up. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and thumbs up. Thank you.